Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com here. Today it is the 21st of May 2024. If I could ask a little quick favour, and that's if you would please consider subscribing to the channel, because that'd be great, big help if you would. So please click the button to subscribe. Today it's Pendragon and their The Masquerade Overture. Now, you know, Pendragon have been around for, 30 plus years now, haven't they? And here we are in 2024, and they've given a slight refresh, I suppose you could call it, and reissue of their Masquerade Overture album, which was originally issued in, I think it was 1996, and is the band's biggest selling album, as I'm told. Now, my history with Pendragon isn't exactly that in depth. I own just two of their albums, Pure and Passion, both of which I think are excellent because they've got that slightly harder edge to them. They go more towards proggy metal than prog rock. But a friend of mine is a huge Pendragon fan, and I mentioned to him that I'd seen that the Masquerade Overture was getting a reissue, and he said, just get it, man, because it's a cracker. So I took him at his word, because he doesn't often steer me wrong. So I did get a copy, and he is indeed right. It is a cracker. You know, I didn't think so at first, because it took about half a dozen spins or so to get into it. At first I thought, what the hell am I listening to? But then after about 7 spins, I got it. I understood what was going on. And now I do think it is indeed that cracker that my Pendragon loving friend told me it is. How can I try and describe it? Well, it's glorious, like typically English, lush, pastoral, progressive rock. Proper immersive listen, expertly written and performed. And, you know, the songs are full of all sorts of keyboard work, atmospheric and biting guitars. It's all in sync. The guitars and the keys are in sync. We've got nice melodic bass and crisp drums going on. Clive Nolan on keyboard. You know, the variations and the skill that he puts in here, it's as good as you leave from anyone, even including good old Uncle Rick Wakeman. Nick Barrett, superb guitarist and lyricist. So Pete G's bass is nicely understated, and Fudge Smith drumming is on point as well. The weak point, if there is one, as regards the performance goes, is Nick Barrett's vocals are a little bit on the thin side. And that does come across in the shortest track called The Pursuit of Excellence, where his vocals do sound a bit strained as he reaches for the higher register. I'm not saying his vocals are bad, they're just not great, so they're just that little bit thin. But for me, that doesn't detract from the class of the overall album. And so once that penny drops after a few spins, it's tremendous in terms of scope, composition, and performance. In my opinion, a real grower. It really is. It's a real grower. An excellent example of what you might call lush, progressive prog rock, which having tracks which are generally on the longish side, but they all hold the attention and don't fall into that trap, that rabbit hole trap that some prog rock does. When it disappears down that rabbit hole, being a bit too clever for its own good and self-indulgent twiddly bits and bizarre time signatures that go on forever just for the sake of it. There's none of that going on here. So what we got with the symphonic, orchestral-ish title track starts it off nicely. As Good as Gold and Paintbox are both really classy stuff. Nolan's lush keyboards and Barrett's guitar meander along together. And the storybook lyrics make it, quite a sublime couple of songs. As Good as Gold in particular, I think, is outstanding. Guardian of My Soul and The Shadow, both first-class prog/rock. More of those engaging guitar and keyboard washes and interplays. Masters of Illusion bounces along nicely, leaning more towards prog metal, I would say, in parts. Dozen minutes or so, all sublime stuff. And then we've got 2 bonus tracks at the end of it on this 2024 reissue, Schizo and King of the Castle. Schizo's a bit more slower, King of the Castle, though, is a fine song indeed as that steams along as well. It's excellent immersive prog rock. It's not hard to see or hear rather why the Masquerade Overture is Pendragon's biggest seller. Engaging from start to finish, and the way in which Barrett and Nolan complement each other is rather special, I would say. Call it prog, call it neo-prog, call it what you like. It's certainly classy, and there's more than enough to justify and satisfy any prog rock fan if you like your things that little bit heavier as well. This 2024 reissue does it all justice. Sounds fresh, sounds good, and my mate got it right that the Masquerade Overture is indeed a cracker. I'll drop a link to it, as always, in the description underneath on Amazon. There are various formats there available, so do go and check it out, whether you like your prog or whether you like your just that little bit harder. I enjoy it tremendously, as I've said. And talking about 2024 reissues, shortly in the next few days I am expecting a reissue of the mighty Pagan Altar's debut album. Oh yes, Pagan Altar. And there's a new one from Demon due as well, anytime soon. So we're back to good old classic new wave of British heavy metal. Reviews to follow as soon as both do arrive. But in the meantime, enjoy Pendragon and the Masquerade Overture. To say it is that cracker that my mate said it was. Alright, so there we are. That's it for now. Please subscribe before you go, because that'd be great. And as always, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and take care.